You need to make decisions for your unknown future self. Guys, I'm going through a little bit of a breakup from a situation, and I want to talk today about making decisions for your future self because I'm in the middle of it. So many of you guys who watch me, I talk a lot about discipline, working hard, blah, 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 internet hustle culture. I'm in a tank top. Look at me. But no, there's actually something I want to talk about in the lesson of this. Basically, long story short, I was in a situation that I knew I should have been out of, and it took me longer to get out of it than it should have. And what I was doing is I was not making decisions for my future self. And I think a lot of us have this problem. I know I have. I come from I was a gamer growing up, right? 4,000 hours in Rocket League. I'm the internet's Rocket League teacher with my silver play button. I've got 500,000 YouTube subscribers. Blah blah blah. I'm a gamer. I have 4,000 hours in Rocket League, a couple thousand in Fortnite, 3,000 in Dota 2. All these games. So I'm very familiar with not making decisions for my future self. We've all been there. It's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 p.m. 1, 2, and then maybe 1, 2, 3 a.m. And we're like, just one more game. Just one more game. And what we're doing when we do these things, I want to talk about it for 10 minutes. We're not making decisions for our future self. This is why it's so hard, guys. And if you want to be successful, if you want to manage your money better, if you want to get more dates, if you want to be better in relationships, if you want to rank up in video games, if you want to get in shape, you need to be making decisions for your future self. And guys, the hardest part about this is oftentimes, so I'll give you 2 examples. So there's the classic example of, the decision for your future self and you just don't want to make it. It's 9 p.m. I was playing, hanging out in this Dota 2 community the other night. And, we launch gaming communities. So it's the gaming community that we own, or that I own, co-own, whatever. And, one of the business branch or whatever. And I was sitting in the community, it's 9 p.m. I'm like, should I queue another rank game? And present me wants to play Dota 2. It's 9 p.m. I just want to play Dota 2. And what happens is 9 p.m. Luke comes around. 9 p.m. Luke, not good. He's got all these ideas. Sometimes ambitious Luke comes out and he wants me to start working at 9 p.m. Sometimes gaming Luke comes out and he's like, just take the edge off. Let's just relax, right? Sometimes doom scroll Luke comes out and he's like, you should just go on Instagram Reels for a little bit. You should just swipe, right? Sometimes, et cetera, et cetera. But who really needs to be in charge of is Sleep Luke. Because at that moment, Sleepy Luke is going to make the best decision for all of the commune of Luke, which is go to bed. We all know we should be going to bed, and yet we play one more game. And so this is sort of a simple example where we can all go, gosh, I should have gone to bed. And then you wake up the next day and you're at work and you're groggy and you're foggy brain. And your whole day sucks. And you go, why can't I just go to bed? And so this is the decision where I have to tell you, either start caring more about your future self or get pissed off about the decisions you're making. Be like, I can't believe past self, again, tried to stay up just to play video games. I'm not doing that. No more. Now, from 9 p.m. onwards, gaming Luke is not allowed. Gaming Luke can come out at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., not allowed at 9 p.m. And you just make rules. And so you can get upset, you can do that. Or you can focus more on your future self, which is like, what would future me want to do? And you have to actually talk yourself through it at 9 p.m. You have to be like, I'm going to wake up tomorrow at 10 a.m. and what am I going to think about this decision? You have to tell yourself. So that's the one option. But the really hard option, level 2 for this, if you're a little bit more advanced in my audience, you start to have to make decisions for your future self that is unknown. So let me give you an example. I think an easy example is if you're somebody who's out of shape, okay? And let's say you're not fit, you don't have a six-pack, you don't have whatever aesthetics you want. You have to make decisions for your future fit self. You have to imagine a version of you with a six-pack that you've never seen before, but that is going to the gym, that is eating right, and you have to do these things, and you do them for a day, for a week, for 2 weeks, for a month, and you don't see results. And the hardest part is you still have to make those decisions for your future self and trust and have faith that it will happen if you stick course. I was talking with another friend for dating advice on the same situation, and what she told me is you have to have faith. And what faith is is its belief that something will happen that you cannot see. And so a lot of us have these goals, and some of the hardest goals to achieve are goals that require faith. Getting in shape. You have to believe you can get in shape before you've ever done it, which is why it's so much easier to get in shape the second time versus the first time. Sure, strategies and stuff, but also the second time you do it, you know it's possible. And so you stick it. So the same thing if you want to grow an audience online, guys, you have to be making the videos. You have to be making the reels, the TikToks, the long form YouTube videos, the YouTube shorts. With faith, believing in something you can't see, that you will one day grow. And the hardest part about making content, why most people quit, same thing with fitness, is not that posting online doesn't work. Guys, you know what the secret is to growing a YouTube audience? Posting YouTube videos, right? Posting good videos, but posting YouTube videos, period. Even if you post bad videos, if you do it for 10 years, something will happen. But most people don't do it. You can't do it because you don't have faith. And so bringing this back to my dating example, I was in a situationship, which is, I was with somebody who was great person, just not great for me, not right for me, and vice versa. I was not right for them. And I was staying in that situation, not because I knew it was the best. I knew it wasn't the best, but because I didn't have faith that if I made space, that eventually the right person would come in. And it's really hard with relationships, guys, because we often see people, and people are very hard to detach from, right? Naturally, we don't want to do this, especially when you've been with somebody who you've had good times with, bad times with. It's very complicated. I think this is why toxic relationships are so difficult. At least is why I struggled in this sense, because they're a good person, but they weren't right for me. And so what I did, and the mistake that I want you guys to avoid, is when you keep somebody in a close position in your life, you have to imagine your inner circle in your business, in your company, in your life, your most important position, your romantic partner for most of us, for many of us. You only have a limited number of spots, in this case, one. And so if you're filling that one spot with somebody that's anything less than exceptional for you, like a tick, 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 all the way down the boxes, you're doing yourself a disservice, because there is somebody who you tick all their boxes and they tick all yours. And when you hold on to these and you settle for these, like, let's say B+ opportunities, when somebody who walks in is an A, you're entangled. You've got baggage. You've built up emotional baggage. You can't just walk out of the relationship. For me, I thought naively, when somebody comes, I'll just cut the relationship and then I'll go to the next one. One, that's massively immature and a little bit problematic. And number two, even emotionally, for me personally, like, I care about the people I talk to, especially that I see in that way. And so it's like, well, when you do that, and bear in mind, I'm a 23-year-old giving you dating advice, so like, please don't take this with, take it with a massive grain of salt. But what I have learned, or what I'm learning, is if I would have just had this space the whole time, when this, let's say, opportunity, or when the next person comes into my life and I am interested in pursuing it, I no longer have to cut off this relationship, emotionally heal, become emotionally available, make my space again. I've delayed, for me now, present self. Luckily, it's not the biggest blunder ever, because I was half aware with what I was doing, but I still delayed what I want right now for 4 to 8 weeks, because now I need to be emotionally available before I pursue another relationship, and I know that that's the healthy thing to do for me. And so, long story short, what I'm trying to say is this: if you want to be successful, if you have these goals, you need to start acting for your future self today. If you want to be more fit, if you want to sleep better, if you want to grow a YouTube audience, if you want to be better in a relationship, if you want to get out of a relationship. And the reason it's so hard, and I'm just reading this because I had this conversation with my friend, which is so impactful for me. So if you're watching this, you know who you are. Thank you. She says, trust me, you have to think about the future that you have to think about the future you that is unknown in order to make decisions that are healthy for your current life. If you don't do this, guys, what happens is you become a slave to your past self. You become a slave to your past self because you, in the present, are always being affected by negative decisions that you in the past made. And so the only way to break that cycle is to say, today, I'm going to make decisions for future me. It's the only way to break it. You feel it every single day. You still have moments or twinges of hurt where you want to go back to your previous identity, but you have to do it day by day, decision by decision, moment by moment. You have to do that. You have to think about what you already don't know for your future, what you know for sure. You have to amplify the pain on the one hand. You know that this isn't right. And as much as you can, you want to amplify the pain, so run away from this. You want to amplify this. And you have to increase your faith in the belief that this future you or future situation will come true even if you can't see it yet. And this is, you have to do this 100 times a day, and you have to do it in everything that you do if you want to get to where you want to get in life. And so just if you are trying to cut a gaming addiction, cut a toxic relationship, cut a food addiction, cut it, whatever it might be, look how many times you've gone back, amplify the pain, even if you can't see the future. For me, what I had to use at the start was I had to amplify the pain. I was so upset with my current career, where my job was going, where relationships have been in the past, that you have to pull yourself out of it. And then when you start getting the results, you can start amplifying those results. You start to see the first signs of weight loss. You start to see, somebody appears in my life that might be better for me. You start to see, I'm getting views online. Then it becomes easier. But you have to do the hardest part first. If you're watching this, you have to adopt that faith, that mentality that it's going to happen. And you have to make decisions for your future self, even if that person is unknown. And if you can do this, good things will happen. So that's my 23 and a half year old life advice. Follow me on Instagram for more tips. And thanks so much for watching, guys. Appreciate it. See you in the next one.